Phil for call digs in. Glad to have you with us. We are underway with the strike over the outside corner, says home plate umpire Jerry Lane. It's for call. It's Martin and Ethier. We will set 1 through 9 here in a moment. And it's Dan Herron trying to get right back on track, and that is a good sign. He threw a cut fastball there in. Left-handers have had their way over the last couple of outings with Dan Herron. He has set a goal to pitch in. Maybe the cut fastball a good way to do it.
Well, he's had issues with his regular fastball or his sinking fastball or running fastball coming back over the plate to the left-handers. He's going to have to use the cutter in to set that pitch up. Look at Dan Herron over the last 4. It's not necessarily velocity that you look at. It's been location. And he just hasn't been getting the ball where he wants to get it.
So the right-hander, 11 wins and 7 losses on 0-2. Dive there with the fastball. Well, a lot of tilt on that fastball, more than we're used to. Danny, 24 starts, including tonight now. ERA of 2.57. That opponent's batting average at just 202. And there's a cut fastball. It is low. 153 strikeouts and 23 walks. That's nearly 7-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Neither one of these guys get hit at all.
It's amazing.
2-2 the count. 2 for call. That one got a lot of the plate, but he wasn't ready for it. Fouled it off. I think you get to this point and you're a left-handed hitter. You tell me, Matty. I think you start thinking, split-fingered fastball. I've got to be ready for it.
Well, you have to. If you're facing Dan Herron, you have to respect his fastball. So you have to look for his fastest pitch away and try to adjust to everything else. Oftentimes it's difficult.
He just threw him a fastball right by him. There was no splitter there, so for call goes down on strikes. And we told you, for call, Martin Ethier, and then number 99 right behind them. It's Casey Blake as well. James Loney, Matt Kemp. How about that guy batting in the 7th slot? How are the Dodgers looking? Orlando Hudson and Clayton Kershaw. We'll see if we can squeeze Matt in that lineup. With the 310, 16 homers, 75 batted in, Joe, 23 stolen bases. You'll be all right, Joe.
Must be rough, huh? Here's your starting lineup, Joe. Have fun.
Russell Martin, fly ball right field. Going back, and it is Olsen. Still going. He's got room. Trent Olsen, who had Coach Lorenzo Bundy out the other day while he was taking fly balls and ground balls all by himself, getting used to playing right field in the majors. He played it in the minors. With that in mind, let's take a look at the entire defense working behind Dan Herron. Roberts, Parra, and Olsen. Certainly not a who's who. Ojeda, Drew, Ryle, and Mark Reynolds. And Dan Herron pitching to Miguel Montero.
Well, not a who's who, but they're making names for themselves, aren't they?
That's exactly right. It's fun to watch. There's a big name. I mean, he has become one. This young man out of Arizona State, St. Mary's here locally, is really making a big name for himself in the 8th and the 9th inning. I mean, he has been the cardiac kid all alone this year, Andre Ethier.
Look at those numbers. Those are good. Those are good numbers.
4 walk-off hits this year. 3 of them are home runs. It's been incredible to see him end game after game after game.
Well, what does that say about the young man? He's finally coming into his own. He's finally getting confidence. He's able to slow the ball down in the late innings when it's really on the line. That just shows maturity. That shows the fact that he's comfortable here. He's comfortable hitting number 3 in this lineup. And he knows that they're depending on him, and he's delivering.
With Matty out of the lineup, he had just 218 in those 50 games. Right down the middle, green light 3-0. Why not? He got Danny on June 2nd, did Andre Ethier. 9 for 20 in his career. 450 is the batting average. And this is 1 of 2 home runs. That's a no-doubter.
I talk about the balance in this lineup. It's really good. We talk about Kemp hitting 7th. There's a reason that he hits 7th, because of the balance in the lineup, especially when Manny's in there. The fact that Joe can go right, left, right, left, right, left if he wants to. He can stack against a particular pitcher if he wants to. Matt Kemp just seems to fall in that 7 hole. On anybody else's club, he may hit 4th. He may hit 3rd.
There's no doubt about that. James Loney taking a walk. Young, talented first baseman. And Manny Ramirez, lightning rod, waits on deck. The 3-2 pitch. Got him away. Boy, he was 3-0 to strike 3. All of them fastballs, interestingly enough. Clayton Kershaw, 21. Time to clock in. Veins of his young ball players. He was excited to get things going. Let's take a look at his starting lineup. As we mentioned, some youngsters in here getting a big opportunity. Stephen Drew, Ryan Roberts, Southwest Airlines brings it to you. Then they tell you it's Para Reynolds. Miggy has been red hot again. Rusty Ryle. Get to know the folks around you. It's Trent Olchin, Augie Ojeda, and Dan Heron who can hit. He's 21 years old out of Dallas, Texas. He was picked the same year Max Scherzer was, just a couple of slots ahead by the Dodgers. 21, and those numbers at 21 years old, Clayton Kershaw.
Hey, look at that! Look at that record of 8-6, and you think to yourself, you look at his statistics, and they're incredible. You know, left-handed hitters are hitting under 200. Right-handed hitters are just above 200. How does this guy ever lose? Well, he walks way too many guys.
A lot of walks. Pitch is high. 1-0 the count to Stephen Drew.
That's electric, though. Fastball that runs in there mid 90s at times. Just a nasty 12-6 curveball, and a changeup to go along with it. But he will come right after you, regardless of whether you're left-handed or right-handed. It's key to being patient in this game. He'll give you something to hit.
278 slugging percentage against Clayton Kershaw is the lowest in the National League. 278 slugging against. Not batting average.
No, lefty's batting average. 180. 240 slugging percentage. Righty's batting average 201 and a 288 slugging. Unbelievable.
A lot of numbers to chew on. Bottom line, if he didn't walk as many, as that one is high, if he didn't walk as many, he would. He'll be dusting off the shelf right now for the Cy, which as he gains command, he may someday.
He just might. That last pitch is an indication right there. The fastball up and into the left-hander or up and away to the right-hander is his trouble.
Stevens pops it up. Is there room? Casey Blake feeling things out. It's about 5 rows back. Yeah, there's 72 walks. Only Doug Davis has more with 73.
Completely different pitchers, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Doug's not afraid to walk 2 guys to get to the guy he wants to get out. It's not the case with Kershaw. If he throws strikes, you're done.
And he's had those moments. Steven looks at a breaking ball. That's strike 3. What a bender. Big sweeping curveball. Throws that pitch about 20% of the time. Steven not so sure about it. I don't mind the fire by Stephen Drew. That is usually very well maintained.
If that pitch isn't off, it's perfect. You talk about the stuff from Kershaw. There it is right there. The ability to pinpoint at times and be unhittable.
And then do that. 1-0 the count to Ryan Roberts.
Same guy.
I'm going to go with perfect on that pitch. It's a tough pitch to umpire. A sweeper like that.
He hasn't seen one yet. It's been all fastballs until that, and he drops one on the outside corner.
Fastball is low. 2-0 the count. Kershaw last time out pitched against Atlanta at home. 7 shutout innings, struck out 10. Picked up a no decision. The Dodgers lost 2-1. On 2-0, again, that perfect pitch is a run in there. 2-1 the count to Ryan Roberts.
You tell Clayton Kershaw, well, welcome to Dan Herron's world.
Tough luck. That one is in. 3-1 the count. Now Roberts, it was a good day. He wakes up, obviously because he and his wife are brand new parents. That's number 1. But he also hits .348 against lefties. That's number 2. And it's close. It's a close second. Hit that one hard out to Orlando Hudson. By the way, Ryan's daughter's name is Hudson with a Y. No reason. Thought I'd point that out. Manny, Kemp, Ethier, Blake for call. There's a Gold Glover and James Loney next to him, and Russell Martin behind home plate. Hey, you've got Manny getting to know the fans and saying hello, entertaining. Matt Kemp looks like a linebacker, and Andre Ethier is a local favorite. Roberts hit that one hard. Hart takes a fastball in. This is, to me, what gets tough. Just watching that last pitch. He wanted it away. Martin did. He missed his spot, but it was still a strike. Now you talk about the walks. Curveball is high. But kind of the effective wildness, if you will.
Yeah, it can be effective at times, especially against the lefties, because if he misses, it's up and into the left hand. And then he can bring the curveball like he did to Stephen Drew right off of it. It may not always be on purpose.
Right.
So if you're Gerardo Parra, you're standing up there looking at a pitch, the first one he throws to you, and it's on the inside corner, and you think to yourself, well, did he mean to do that? Is he going to try to pitch me in tonight? All those things go through the hitter's head all at once.
Then you've got to deal with that breaking ball. 2-2 the count. It was interesting, that shot a moment ago with Clayton Kershaw. Has that glove fanned out wide. Just, you know, kind of the glove like we used to use when we were young. Get it good and broken in. And his fastball struck out. Gerardo Parra, 1-2-3, tough stuff. Dan Herron, Manny Ramirez, our matchup. This is that effectively wild stuff we're talking about. you by the top 3 power Chevy dealers in the Valley and by Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. He is loved and he is booed. He was suspended for 50 games, and now he's back. And there is strike 1.
And he really likes hitting against Dan Herron.
Over the outside corner, 0-2 the count. And as we told you, he has been somewhat human. You can see there is a divide everywhere. The 0-2 pitch to Manny Ramirez. Fastball. Pitch at 0-2 got a lot of home play, and I think that Dan Herron would tell all of us, if we were speaking to him right now, that that's not the pitch or at least the location that he wanted.
Well, you look at that pitch. It's not necessarily middle of the plate, but it's up. Montero wants the pitch down, and it just doesn't get there. Stays up in the strike zone, and with somebody like Manny Ramirez, that one's going to get hit hard.
And it was. Right back with a cut fastball in the dirt. Ooh, that one a little angry.
Well, we talked about it. It's not necessarily stuff with Dan over the last 4 games. It's location. So the location wasn't bad there. It was just in the wrong spot, height-wise.
Bouncing ball had him out front again. Another cut fastball as he goes back-to-back with that pitch. It does feel like, though, on occasion, this isn't questioning what you're saying at all, Matty, but maybe in trying to get better command, get a little bit more in his fastball, there's been a little bit of overemphasis mechanically, which is not sharpened up his split-fingered fastball, but if anything, there's a good one, has made it dull. Long throw. And then he moves up. Obviously, Blake can't move up, so the right throw was made with the first base occupied. He turned it immediately through. And he moves up on a wild pitch. A strikeout of Casey Blake.
First baseman number 7, James Loney.
Well, McGarrell was alert there. Ball gets up over his head. He's able to glove it and turn and fire to second base. But Manny was able to get there in time.
Good heads up base running for Manny Ramirez. So now James Loney.
So you were talking about emphasis.
Yeah. And for Danny, I think, if anything, the split maybe not quite exactly as he has been used to. Partly it's because of the command. So what happens is you try to do a little more. And when you're in the windup, maybe you tilt the back a little bit, try to get a little bit more on the fastball, and then it throws you off even more. Fair enough?
Fair enough. And he's gone, I would also add to that, he's gone deep into games just about all season long. Could fatigue play a factor there as well?
There's no doubt. And that's when you're fatigued, you try to do more. Our key to the game, we keep it simple, folks. Brown and Brown and Arrowhead and Superstition Springs Chevy dealers. We can have a lot of fun and poke around at this one. We have Dan Herron. We have the man on third. He is Manny Ramirez. Tonight, Danny's the Manny. Now, Dan's the man, obviously. We picked that one because it comes from Haywick, Scotland. Alistair Ferguson from Scotland at 2:45 in the morning just submitted that key to the game on our D-backs booth Twitter page.
It's beautiful.
So he could have put, I'm going to eat cheese and crackers.
He could have.
That was going to be the key to the game. Because when we hear from Scotland with the key to the game, it's a winner.
Especially at 2:45 in the morning.
That's exactly right. He may be eating some cheese and crackers.
He just might. He could be doing whatever he wants to do right now. He's catching the ball game.
So Danny's the Manny.
Love it.
That pitch is in. 2-0 the count to Matt Kemp, who, by the way, as we mentioned earlier, managed to squeeze his way into the 7th slot in this order. With a .310 average, with 16 homers, 75 RBIs, 23 stolen bases. and a 370 on base. Cut fastball. Boy, he's thrown a lot of those.
He's spiking a few of them too. So what does that tell you? Trying to get a little bit more, trying to pull it a little bit harder. He'll either spike it or he'll leave it middle. That's kind of been the deal.
Matt, 2 of his last 3 with runners in scoring position, but the big number there, 6 RBIs he has netted in those 2 hits. The 2-1. Fastball in, maybe helped him a bit there, 2-2.
Well, that's a good one. Threw him the cut fastball on 2-0, and then came back in with a good riding fastball into the right-hander on 2-1 and tied him up. You're not hitting that. If you do, better get another bat because you're going to break it.
Here comes a split-fingered fastball. He's only thrown 1. That's not exactly where he wanted it, but guess what? It was a hanger, but it was strike 3. And he's got 4 Ks. You don't apologize for that. Somebody get Matty his glove. Uniform, heck, and a Tigers uniform as well, but we vote. It actually almost is now Saturday night, amazingly enough. 80s night tomorrow night. Where were you in 1988? We saw some taillights there. Some were driving away. Kirk Gibson, a home run that in game 1 won the World Series for the Dodgers.
Yeah, completely changed momentum. You know, playing that big team over there with all the power and all the mystique that they brought to the game, that won it right there.
36929 is where you text to. A for the Pine Tar, B for Gibby, as Mark Reynolds takes high, C for the Bill Buckner error, D for the Pete Rose hit 41-92. You had better vote for Kirk Gibson or he will come to your house.
He will find you.
2-1 the count to Mark Reynolds. Leave Bill Buckner alone.
I'm telling you, his poor teammates, especially when he was in Detroit, if he hit a home run, nobody wanted to shake his hand because it was so. He would slap their hands so hard, people would run away from him. I don't blame him.
3-1. Chases high, 3-2 the count. The St. Louis Cardinals are beating up on the Padres by a score of 7-0. Albert Pujols in that game has been walked twice. Pujols stands 1 home run ahead of Mark Reynolds at 37. Reynolds is on with a leadoff walk. And again, these are your choices. We'd like to encourage you, as Kirk would do too. He would encourage you in his own way to vote for B.
Yeah, it better be B.
I'm just saying, when the text results come out, it better be 100%. I have to fly with him and deal with him. And
he's going to ask us. He's going to get wind of this and ask us.
Why wasn't it 100? Montero goes the other way. Lefty on lefty. Manny Ramirez has it stopped in the corner. Mark Reynolds racing on around. The Diamondbacks lead the Dodgers 1-0. Miguel Montero just trying to pull him out of the lineup. You might think about the fact that he's lefty with Chris Snyder. Miggy got the start. Miggy made AJ look real smart right away.
You can't argue with the way that he's been swinging the bat. He's been playing against left-handers as well, so it's not anything that's new for Miguel right now. He feels comfortable up there. He got a good bounce and allowed Mark Reynolds to score.
Since June 17th, hitting .335 Montero. #1 amongst all Major League catchers. More hits than any National League catcher with 58. Only Joe Mauer, by the way, has more. Extra base hits. Only Brian McCann has more in that time. #1 in slugging. #1 in on-base plus slugging. Miguel Montero. And he's in there against a tough lefty. As you said, Matty, lefties hit 180 against this kid.
Righties don't fare much better, but he's especially difficult against left-handers. Yeah, and you know what? You look at this, the way it's happened in this inning, and now he's falling behind because, lefties just don't handle him like that. So what does it do to his rhythm? It disrupts it. Certainly it keeps him in the stretch. Lefties just don't fare well when you have your catcher step up there in the first pitch and lines down the left field line. Makes that young man think.
You saw Mark Reynolds trying to catch his breath for a while.
Yeah, for a while. First to home, that's a long way.
Ryle down the right field line into the seats. That'll go. Rusty has played in 3 games. He's 3 for 5 with a couple of doubles. Originally a Diamondbacks 14th round pick in 2005 of Oklahoma State. Know a lot about him. Your thoughts?
No, I have a great story. My first day managing the Mobile Bay Bears, went down and took over for a little time for Brett Butler. First play at the plate was Rusty Ryle. Had no idea how fast he ran, but he was on second base and there was a ball hit to the outfield, and I was waving that arm, boy. I was sending him. He was out by 15 feet and he didn't stop. Ran right through the catcher and he was out, but that catcher, he didn't get up for 15 minutes. He's got football mentality. He's a fantastic football player and he loves to play the game. Not afraid to get dirty, not afraid to go into second base and break up a double play. Tough kid. I apologized to him, told him I would never let that happen again.
It's interesting when you think of the Trent Olchins and the Rusty Ryles of the world. As he hangs around. And I say this with all due respect because both players have had great years in the minor leagues. But when you're an organizational player that is drafted and then held on to, not because you're a top prospect, but because you play the game the right way, you're going to help all the prospects that come through. Trent's the same way. Then the guy that signed you right there and brought you in is now the manager. That doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt. You're going to get a chance.
A chance.
You've proven yourself.
To the right side again, just late on the fastball.
You've proven yourself to the guy that's now right in the lineup card. So, and that's great. He knows how you play. He was the guy in your corner saying, "Listen, we're gonna move you up. We like the way you go about it. Keep doing it the way you're doing it, or changing things about that particular player and making him better." There's something to be said for playing the game right, regardless of how well you do. Just playing it right.
You youngsters out there too, there's also something to be said for respecting your boss. Join Fox Sports Arizona, the Diamondbacks, and the Muscular Dystrophy Association in the fight against ALS during the D-backs Rockies game. September the 4th is the night. You can bid on great sports memorabilia or come to the Tempe Marketplace during the pre and post game for a silent auction. All proceeds benefit Augie's Quest and ALS research. Look at this. Already they love this young man. Well, let's see, why wouldn't they? He's played 6 major league games. Trent Olchen. And now Trent is out there, and his mom is here, and his sister is here, flying all the way from Glen Haven, just outside of Sydney, Australia.
Isn't that great?
Wants that one foul. You bet it's great.
That's a great story. You know, his dad was a big baseball fan. Searched and searched and searched to try to find him somewhere to play baseball. Finally found him somewhere to play. Taught him, practiced with him. Because he had the dream too. I mean, he wanted him to play, and certainly Trent took to it, and here he is. And it's nice to see that his family gets to come watch him play in the big leagues. That's what it's all about.
Tough call over the outside. 0-2. The count was a strike. So Hinch, AJ with the reset. Chip Hale will relay to Trent Olchen. Again, 12 hits in his first 6 major league games, 3 home runs. He has homered against Pittsburgh and New York and Washington, all the teams against whom he has played. Lefties have given him an early tough time, 1 for 7. He's 11 for 22 against righties. This is a tough assignment. There's no other way to shake it up. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Bounces it, base hit left field. They're going to stop Montero. This kid is unbelievable. Trent Olchen has now hit in 6 of the 7 major league games in which he has played.
A nice job of not trying to do too much. Didn't get the bump down, didn't get it done, but he gets it done with the swing and just bounced it in that 5-6 hole. No preconceived notion of what the pitcher's going to throw. No preconceived notion of what he's going to try to do with it. Just see it and hit it. It's been the secret to his success thus far, and he's going to stay with it, hopefully.
It was interesting in how guys see things. Look, Jeff Francoeur isn't a 10-year veteran, but he's got a half-decade in. And he'd watched Trent Olchen play in 1 game. And he said, obviously, son, I like him. You know, he's getting hits and he's making the crowd excited as an opposing player. He said, but the couple of at-bats I've seen where he lets the ball travel deep.
Everybody clap your hands.
He said, when you first get to the major leagues, I don't care if you're in the minors for a year or for 9 years like Trent, you find yourself over-aggressive. It's just a natural thing. He said, you can't teach what he's doing. And there's a great example of what Francoeur is talking about.
It's a fantastic example. And knowing yourself well enough to know that, listen, I've just made it to the big leagues and played in 12 games, and I got 3 homers already. It's easy to start trying to hit home runs. It's very easy to start doing that because it's happened. He's staying within himself, taking what they give him. When he gets on base and nobody's in front of him, he's stealing some bags, he's scoring some runs, diving and making plays. It's what it's all about. Couldn't ask for anything more from the kid right now.
Bases are loaded for Augie Ojeda. Curveball and a dandy. 0-2 the count.
How many true 12-6 curveballs do you see anymore? Not very many.
Not from the lefties either. You see Montero, Ryle, and Olchen load up the bases. Augie 9 hits in 8 games in August, 8 walks as well, so 17 times he's been on base. Breaking ball, bouncing ball, late. Turn it, and they don't. So a fielder's choice and an RBI. Olchen goes in plenty hard against Orlando Hudson. And the Diamondbacks add another, and they lead it 2-0. So Ojeda, you can add an RBI to his resume, number 6 on the year.
Boy, you see it so many times. Watch this. Watch him go into second base right here. You see it so many times where players will peel off or not go in hard to second base and disrupt the second baseman. Now, Orlando respects that because he knows what it's all about. He knows the importance of going in hard so they don't turn that double play. You don't know what that can mean. That can mean 3 or 4 runs in this inning. Who knows? The fact that you're willing to go in there and, one, get an RBI for your buddy who's hitting behind you because he doesn't hit into a double play. 2, keep that double play off the book, and now you've got first and third and 1 out as opposed to third base and 2 out. It means it could mean the whole game potentially. Just the fact that he went into second base hard.
Make a mental note of that, folks. I mean, you come back to moments in the ball game. Somebody like a Dan Hare drives one in the gap here, and he can. You remember that. You remember that young man. Remember, and we don't say this because you should slide hard every time and you should run hard every time, but honestly, it doesn't happen all the time.
No.
It's unfortunate.
And you're absolutely right. It should happen all the time.
He can handle the bat. As you can see, he's got 12 hits this year, 4 doubles, a homer. Love a fly ball here. Took a shot at it. Hey, don't forget the runs already starting to stack up. At any time, the Diamondbacks score 6 runs or more. Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the next day.
Love it. Tacos. Miguel loves everything right now. Feeling good up there. Food tastes good.
And Herron with an RBI. Line drive into center field, a base hit for Herron. The crowd, they love it. Poor Danny, 8 RBIs this year.
Oh, he just picked on a hanging curveball from Kershaw. Little hesitation right there. Bat stays in the zone a long time. Did what he was supposed to do with it.
By the way, don't forget sliding in hard, breaking up that double play.
More times than not, it will mean nothing, but you just never know. But it doesn't matter.
Underneath that breaking ball, a poor pitch there. 1-0 the count. Well, there are the 2 lives of Clayton Kershaw. I told you about that Atlanta start. Owned them. I mean, 10 strikeouts, 2 hits. Start before that against Milwaukee. 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 walks, and out of the ballgame.
So what is it? I mean, you know, when it's, does he feel like he's got nowhere to go? If he needs a strike? Or if he gets in trouble, does he feel like he doesn't have a pitch to go to? I don't know. This stuff's pretty good.
Don't forget, follow the D-backs on your iPhone or iPod Touch with MLB.com. They hop at Bat 2009 and they get it going, featuring play-by-play and video highlights from Fox Sports Arizona and from KTAR Radio. Visit dbacks.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase. I've got a thought, and I think you'll agree. Steven has the count even up at 2-2. I think Clayton Kershaw is a major league pitcher that's just an uptick. He's 21.
Yeah,
that's
true.
what it is. 29 pitches this inning. I think he's going to be great someday.
Sometimes it just works. Sometimes it just doesn't, right?
That one skitters on by Martin. Nearly threw it away. So not able to block it up, and then almost threw it into left field.
Tried to backhand the breaking ball in the dirt, and it's got away from him a little bit, and he was unable to corral it in time. Try to cut down Augie at third.
Another wild pitch, on ball 4, a run will score. gentleman that was not doubled up just scored.
By the way, there's still one out in the inning. It's hard to do. We talk about all the time about catchers in there. They get comfortable with the fastball because they don't expect the fastball to be spiked in the dirt. Oftentimes the most difficult ball to block because it's unexpected. It's always in the back of the catcher's mind if it's a breaking ball that it may be in the dirt.
Fly ball right. Here comes Ethier. There goes Hudson. Ethier just gets it back in. Dan Herron is running the bases.
Well, if you're Mark Reynolds or Justin Upton, you're probably not going to score on that one either. Ethier's got a good arm out there. No need for Chip to be aggressive in that scenario right there. You've got your starting pitcher out there. Don't need a play at the plate. If you're going to score another one in this inning, you'll do it by a base hit.
For Kershaw, by the way, he had gone 16 consecutive starts, allowing 3 earned runs or less. 16 in a row. That Milwaukee one, we told you it was bumpy, but he only allowed 3 earned runs. Breaking ball, that's a strike. Well, it was a start. It was May the 12th at Philadelphia. Went 5 innings, gave up 4 runs. That was May the 12th. That's the last time he gave up more than 3 runs in a game. Chasing and helping, and the count is 0-2. Ramon Troncoso warms in the pen for the Dodgers.
I think it's a great analogy that you made. He is Justin Upton. When it's right, it carries the team. When it's not, it's just not. And it's kind of a struggle to find it. That's just being young.
Helps again and goes down on strikes. Parra, the struggles continue against lefties, but what an inning for the Diamondbacks. They played 4.
To the top of the third. Time for our Geico quote of the game and our year-long celebration and ramp up to 80s night, which is finally will arrive tomorrow night here at Chase Field. It's from Ferris Bueller, and this is a tip of the hat and an ode to the late great director John Hughes from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around, you might miss it. We lost John Hughes while we were out on the road. He passed away after while he was taking a walk in New York City. Far too young, at the age of 59, captured the spirit and the angst of a generation of us back in the 80s. And speaking of life moving fast, and Darren Sutton, as you look at Dan Herron, I think we have to reflect on something A.J. Hinch said before the game on our pregame show and on the road trip recently. It's about tempo for him, being aggressive early, but establishing that tempo and maintaining it, it looks like, well, he has so far.
Yeah, I would agree with you. It's what Maddie and I were talking about. Tempo in part two is, not having the feeling that you have to do too much. And for Danny, maybe a little bit of a bend in the back there when he lifts his leg, trying to hump up and throw a better split-fingered fastball or a better fastball has cost him some control. So that's in part what the tempo is. Maddie, the other thing I find interesting is that is the first curveball he has thrown in the game right there. I find that interesting.
I find it interesting too, because that's his bread and butter, especially to the lefty. If he needs a strike, he can throw it. It's been there all year. He can throw it anytime he wants for a strike.
Orlando Hudson with a fly ball in the left center field. Communicate, boys. Parra calls off Roberts. The other thing I think, Todd, and we've talked about this, we talked about it in depth in Washington, and this isn't cheerleading or glass half full. This is really what I believe. I think Danny, with the cutter this year and more mileage on his tires, I think that this will not be an 8-start skid compared to last year. I think we're at 4. You hope it ends tonight, but I don't think this will go on an entire month and a half like it did last year.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that, and I go back to the comments that we heard on our post-game shows in Washington in particular after his tough outing against the Nationals. You can just hear him and see him soul-searching. Outside of the mechanics that you talk about and the execution of certain pitches, there's also the mental side to Dan Haren and how he gets through things. We talked a lot about this all year long, how introspective he is. There's a strikeout, 2 down. But he was actively searching as we were talking to him that night. You could see it and hear it and feel it.
You saw our Quest high-speed internet, high-speed pitch, as Rafael Furcal makes his way to the plate. Danny ready to go to work. Come on, Rafi, let's hop on up there. Now, I was talking with Danny, Maddie, and folks about pitching in. It's something to lefties. Something that Max Scherzer really has made. There's a curveball. It's up. Max has really made it a point of focus his last 2 bullpens into lefties. And Danny's saying, I know how he feels. I'm battling that right now as well.
Yeah, you try to throw the ball into the left-handed hitter and it doesn't get there. It gets whacked every once in a while. I don't care if you're Clayton Kershaw or Dan Haren. 21 years old with great stuff, or the guy that everybody's been talking about for the Cy Young Award this year. If you're not getting it where you want to, it's going to bother you. So you try to make adjustments. It's human nature to try to make those adjustments. Oftentimes, it's not the right adjustment to make, or you try a little bit too hard to get it done, and then it just compounds. I can relate to the other side of that coin on the hitting side. When you're in a slump, everybody says, well, just relax. It's not so easy. It's not so easy to do that. But if you can manage to do that, things tend to fall back into place. Like that.
Locked him up.
There it is.
Thank you, Todd. When we come back, Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Chicago, will join us. Oh, yeah. The fourth, you bet a triple play. Line drive, runners on the move. It went Wilson to Lopez to Jackson, and all three players were immediately asked to leave the roster. Off the roster. All of you, get out.
You're not going to get any better than that, so we have nothing to look forward to in that regard.
Josh Wilson,
we'll see you.
We've seen Josh a couple times. He actually later pitched in San Diego in the 18th inning as Mark waves through that one. And of course, Felipe Lopez plays in Milwaukee, where they were busy trying to acquire Doug Davis and unable to do so during the off day. Doug's still here. And of course, Connor Jackson, that's the good news. Connor is back in the minor leagues rehabbing. He was claimed off waivers, Doug Davis. Waivers kind of a common practice. I think it got a lot of play in the media, but players being placed on waivers, pretty common. And that one is swung and missed, and players being claimed on waivers, but then is there a deal to be had? That's the key.
Yeah, that's the key. Can they come to some kind of deal? That conversation was already had prior to the trade deadline. You couldn't come to a deal. And clearly they couldn't again. So
now Josh maybe thinks about, as that one is swung right through. Josh Burns, of course, Executive Vice President and General Manager. Maybe looks to the future with Doug Davis as we read into some of the rumors we've seen. Maybe a year or the next couple of years, we'll see. I'm sure Doug would prefer the latter. We'll see what the best fit is for the Diamondbacks. We do know this. It's been a special year for Doug Davis.
It sure has.
And he doesn't like us to do it, but still we remind you, a year removed from thyroid cancer and thyroid cancer surgery. Battled his way back and has been a key part. Where would this club be without the consistency every 5 days? Doug and Danny and John Garland, those three. And we're not talking about a championship club. We don't mean to send you askew, but where would this club be? I mean, they're 11 below. Where would they be?
Yeah, it could be real ugly.
That one is fouled off. By the way, Montero in there tonight, but it's almost time for school to start. Don't miss Sunday's D-backs Dodgers game. But Chris Snyder catching backpack. First 5,000 kids to the game receive it. To get tickets, 602-514-8400. That's my better side. Of course, blocking my face. Or visit dbacks.com/ there we go. It's a good looking backpack.
I like that side.
You like that?
It's good. No, not that side. The other side. Curveball.
It's pretty cool though. You throw it on the back.
It is very cool.
I like it.
So do I.
The 2-2. That one is away. 3-2 the count.
I like that backpack. I like Miguel's approach against lefties a little more right now.
Why?
Just because he's just doing what he's supposed to do. He's doing what he does best, and that's hit the ball the other way. Except for that one.
Well, he got him out front there. He backed off. Is that a changeup?
I think that may be just a bad curveball.
Let's see. Yeah, you're right.
A little smaller breaking ball. 3-2. But you know what? Throw that at bat away. If you look at the time that he's been playing, and the fact that, when Chris was down, he was in there every day against lefties. It doesn't matter. He just got confidence. Confidence is huge. It's a prime example right there of what it would do for you. So he's not feeling uncomfortable against lefties.
Nice little breaking ball there. 1-1 the count to Rusty Ryle. Rusty this year down in AAA Reno hit .290. Homered 17 times, and on base plus slugging of .874. He gives that one around deep right field. Eacher going back to the wall, and they will make the play. Into the Ride Now Power Sports pool, and a ground rule double for Rusty Ryle. I'll tell you this, he's got 4 big league hits. 3 of them are doubles.
You know what? There is something to be said. Yeah, granted, if you're a new player in the big leagues, regardless of who you're playing against, They're going to see if you can hit the fastball. But you know what? I think there is something to be said, and I don't know if you get the truth if you ask Ryle and Olchin and any of the guys that have come from AAA this year to play here. They see the ball so much better here than they would in a minor league ballpark. And the background here, especially at home, is phenomenal. It's dark. See the ball out of the pitcher's hand a lot better, and I would imagine that they stand at the plate and go, wow, I can see. Now, Reno, fantastic ballpark, brand new, but you know what? It's not the big leagues, and it's not this back.
No, you're exactly right. The lights, a couple of decks higher.
They're getting heaters to hit. They're seeing the ball good. It makes them feel comfortable.
They're flying on charter flights, not getting on commercials at 5 a.m.
They're fresh. They don't have to take their own bags. It's wonderful.
0-2 the count.
I love the big leagues.
Yikes, a swing on a pitch up and in. Olchin, he struck out the side with a double in the middle of it.
Oh, effectively wild right there.
Last 4 or 5 starts. Well, what does he do to alleviate it? Fastballs away. Those are set up by pitches in, though. Cutter's in. The pitcher Kershaw just put him away. And there we're talking about in. So the lefty's hitting .333 against him in his last 4 starts. That was a bouncing ball to Augie O'Hagan. Russell Martin is erased. It's been a point of discussion, no doubt about it. So Dan, so far so good against the Southpaws. There you see it, 0 for 5 tonight. They were 18 of 54 in his last 4 starts with 4 doubles, 2 triples, 4 homers, a slugging percentage of .704. And he is a guy throughout his career, because of the split and the get me over breaking ball, almost got lefties out like a lefty.
Well, if you don't get the get me over breaking ball over, it's not a get me over breaking ball. So what does it become?
1-0.
Ball 1. Can't throw the split finger for a strike. That's your strikeout pitch.
Right.
So that you take that out of the equation. Now what does he have? He's got fastball and he's got cut fastball. If he doesn't put those where he wants to, I don't care who you are, you're going to get hit.
That's twice he hasn't gotten the call on that pitch right there. That may be low, but very close. He didn't like it. You can see him disagreeing with Jerry Lane there. That was the curveball. And he needs that call. But he got some help. Buried a fastball in. Now drifted back out over the plate, but not a lot. Our Aflac trivia question with 2 outs. Name the 3 Dodgers to share the 1981 World Series MVP honors.
I don't even want to guess. It's a Dodger question.
Okay.
I don't care.
All right.
I really don't care.
That's fine.
I'm not going to guess.
All right. Manny Ramirez back in the second inning as Matt Williams opts not to guess. He singled on an 0-2 pitch that was too good, Danny Herron would tell you. And there's his good friend out there enjoying the ball game. Boy, look at the run on that fastball. Good pitch there.
Manny's seen 4 pitches tonight. They all have been fastballs.
Breaking ball this time. It's a base hit. So he threw him a fastball and a rare curveball. Rare in the sense that besides strike one, he doesn't throw many curveballs.
Well,
He's
had fantastic success against Dan Herron. I don't know if that was a curveball or a split.
Well, it might have been a split.
It acted like a curveball because it wasn't his good split, potentially, but nonetheless, it wasn't where he wanted it again.
Yeah, that was the key coming on the air. We told you about Manny hitting about 260 since the All-Star break and actually being somewhat pedestrian. But knowing that Dan Herron and Doug Davis were waiting. 2 guys that he has feasted off of, right about 500 against both. He stands above 500 now against Herron, 12 for 22.
Yeah, that's not a 2 for 4 or a 4 for 8. It's 22 at bats. Figure if Dan's pitching the whole game, that's that's over 5 games worth in adjustments and different ballparks, and he's still quality at bats. That's what Manny Ramirez is all about. And if he sees the ball well or gets confidence against a certain pitcher, it can get ugly.
Just off the plate, 2-2 the count. Four to nothing, Arizona leads it. Trying to keep it right there as Dan Herron split-fingered fastball on 2-2. Manny twice has moved up on wild pitches. Helmet goes spinning away. Always got something going on. How are we looking here? Sometimes I wonder what Walter Alston would think about that look right there.
I don't know.
I think I do. The 3-2. And that one is fouled off. And I think you do too.
So you have Casey Blake. Kind of an under the radar guy.
Always has been.
But you look at his numbers, hitting in the middle of this lineup. Now he'll hit 8th sometimes too. But hitting in the middle of this lineup, he's just productive.
He has managed to be handled tonight with Casey Blake 0 for his last 13. And they're locking him down. One of the quiet keys. Walter Alston wouldn't like that either. Back in the ballpark, 4-0 the score. Our Aflac trivia question, a very good one. 3 Dodgers to share the 81 World Series MVP honors. Matt Williams, former Giant and Diamondback, refuses to guess.
Don't care.
Fernando Valenzuela looks on. A key member, certainly. It's Say, it's Guerrero, and it's Yeager.
Don't care.
That one is over the inside corner. 0-1 the count to Augie Ojeda. Matt, of course, always carries a bit of an edge with him when the Dodgers are in town. Curveball is high. Hey, don't forget, by the way, we will hear in the next half inning from A.J. Hinch from down in the dugout. And then after that, Bobby Borchering, the Diamondbacks' #1 pick, who inked his contract today. So he will join us up here in the booth. Matt Williams will immediately let Bobby know that if he used to be a Dodgers fan at any point in his life, he will stop right now.
That's right.
I would imagine he's a Braves fan, being from down in the Fort Myers, Florida area. Augie into right field, and the beat goes on here in the month of August. Well, it's been incredible what he has been able to do.
Not good for Augie. He went through a stretch there that was really difficult.
It was.
And that swing right there is what he does. Takes what the pitcher gives him. Not going to hit a whole lot of balls out of the ballpark. We all know that. But the key to him is he always seems to give you a quality at bat.
Yeah, Augie with 9 hits in August and 7 starts, an on-base percentage of .581. Now Augie is at second base on a great bunt by Danny Herron. Hey, it's our Gila River Casinos Hit It and Win home run inning. You got to hit the big time jackpot, and if you do, $600,000 goes to Richard Hendrickson.
What?
Don't forget to visit dvax.com/hit and win.
$600,000.
$600,000.
Man. All right, somebody do it. Somebody.
Says the Emmy Award winner, Matt Williams. Breaking ball is high, but a strike. 0-1 the count. Matt, you going to carry us through the whole weekend, huh?
Well, yeah, I have to caddy for Gracie again.
Goodness sakes.
Where is Gracie, by the way?
Oh, he's on assignment.
Oh, he is.
He's on assignment. Back in New York City.
Private jet back there today or something?
I would guess.
Probably.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, tomorrow night, 80s night, you'll be here. Greg Schulte will be here on television.
Oh, where are you going?
I'm actually going to San Diego, California.
On assignment?
On assignment to work with Craig Biggio and to call the Aflac All-American High School Baseball Classic.
That's outstanding.
Some of the best juniors in the country. A lot of them starting their senior year now. And, of course, moving the game to Sunday night prime time, 8 o'clock, Petco Park. If you're in the area, by the way, you happen to be heading out there, tickets are free of charge this year. They want to put more bodies in. I think it's a great idea. Come on into Petco Park and enjoy some of the best players in the country. That breaking ball is called strike 3. Just a headline name, and you're well aware because of your son's success as a ball player, is Bryce Harper, the young catcher out of Las Vegas. He'll be playing in the game. But I think you're doing all 39 of the other kids a disservice by focusing on just Bryce. We know he's talented, but some great young players. And I was able to be brought on board last year and back again this year. So it ought to be a lot of fun.
It's great. If you folks could only see the amount of research that he's done on this. He's got pages and pages and pages. You know, these kids aren't in the news every day. They're not on television. People don't know who they are, but they are the cream of the crop, if you will, among high school soon-to-be seniors.
That's good. Pitch is high.
That's good. It'd be nice to fill that place over there for him and give him a great experience. It's a great experience for him anyway, but put 40,000 people in there would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Chance to play in a big league ballpark. Well, last year, Matt Davidson, a young man out of Yucaipa, California, he stood out in the game, won the home run derby, and the Diamondbacks drafted him this year. So, for me, selfishly, there becomes kind of a personal following that goes on.
Sure. Yeah, you get a chance to know him over that day and a half. You talk to him, sometimes on camera, sometimes not. Good for them. Congratulations, guys.
Of course, Aflac All-American Jackie Robinson Award winner Justin Upton played early in the beginnings of the Aflac All-American game.
About a year and a half ago, wasn't it?
Seems like it. That's a strike.
Amazing. Amazing the age at which, we talk about Justin, we talk about Kershaw, the age at which these guys are getting to the big leagues now. They don't necessarily spend 3-4 years in minor leagues before they're there.
Yeah, he thought about swinging at that one. That's a bat toss, by the way, by Ryan Roberts.
That was a long
little edge.
Little edge. You notice a little edge in the stadium tonight?
I like it. Do you like it?
Something about LA. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I know what it is for me.
Sure.
But you know, it's something about the beat LA chant.
Okay.
I mean, that just does it.
Right.
Beat LA. You can't be beat Pittsburgh. Just doesn't work.
No.
Beat New York Mets. No. Sorry. But beat LA? Yeah. I'm all over that one. So is everybody else. It's great.
0-1 the count. Let's go D-backs. That rolls right off the tongue. Wearing his Sun Devil shirt. Breaking ball. It's blocked up. Kind of find yourself here hoping and pulling a bit for Gerardo Parra. Parra having a tough go of it against lefties. 230 compared to 319 against righties, and a tough night tonight. One and two the count.
He's been really good. I mean, overall, since he's been in the big leagues, he's been very good with runners in scoring position. Played all outfield positions well. This one right here seems to be the Achilles heel. And you look at his swing against Kershaw tonight, and that front shoulder's leaking just a little bit.
Oh my goodness. And that's just not fair.
And I'm sorry, nobody's going to hit that.
Yeah, absolutely. Huh. A.J. Hinch will join us here in just a moment. And coming through.
No, absolutely. I mean, you know, we don't have the luxury now of having a lopsided right-handed lineup when we face a lefty. So it's going to be a good growing experience for these guys to get to face these tough lefties and to see him come through. You know, they battle. I mean, Montero and Olchin both, you know, stuck their nose in there and went the other way and got big hits.
Skipper, it's Matt. I think that, you know, we sit up here and look at it, but you have to be pleased with I guess it's an edge that your young guys are playing with.
Yeah, it's energy and enthusiasm. I mean, we have a different look to us, and obviously these guys are hungry up here to make an impression. They want to stick around for a long time. So, we have an edge to us. We have some energy. We have a little pep in our step, and it's good to see, and it certainly rubs off on the rest of the team.
My iPod is broken. Could you help me fix my speakers on it, by the way, if you have a chance?
Yeah, no problem. I can work on the fly.
Thank you, Skip.
Right,
we appreciate it. Go
Bye.
get them. First of all, here's the thing. That's done with all due respect to a guy who's managing a big league game. But it reminds you that it's not all nervous time and uptight times. Second of all, his willingness to come do it. Well, number one is, his willingness to come do it, to show us that there are times when you could be a little bit more tense, and he comes and he does it. You get a lot of skippers, and I don't blame him, that would just be like, what, and bothered to even be putting a headset on. He grabbed it and popped it right back on.
Never missed a beat.
I
right?
love that. Good stuff, by the way.
That's being an ex-catcher right there.
I see.
You're faced with that as a catcher. All kinds of things flying at you. Broken bats and balls in the dirt and foul tips. And nobody's going to wait for you.
No.
You got to get on with the game, so you might as well just deal with it and move. Nice going. He caught it, too.
High fly, right field. Don't forget, join Fox Sports Arizona on Facebook and Twitter. Be a part of our discussions. Get the latest info on all the teams. Twitter.com/FoxSportsAZ or D-Backs Booth on Twitter. And check us out on Facebook.com/FoxSportsArizona. Belton, left field, gone. Just like that. That's Matt Kemp. 17th home run. 76th RBI. It's 4-1. And there's a lot of baseball left to be played.
Oh, and by the way, he hit 7th for the Dodgers. That was one of those balls that makes a different sound, man. He's got a first pitch fastball that he didn't miss.
Orlando Hudson gets in left field. So a home run, then a single.
So here's the crux of that, Matt. Just because Matt Kemp takes you deep doesn't mean you change from what has brought you success during the course of the game. Just because he hits a fastball out of the ballpark doesn't mean that he doesn't throw a first pitch fastball to Orlando Hudson. He can't change. He's had success, for 4+ innings now.
There's a bunt. It's a good one. And the runner moves up for the second out. Kershaw drops down a bunt. And I don't know that he will change.
No, but we talk about Dan in the tough 4-game stretch that he's had. He's a veteran guy. He's an ace of the staff. He's not going to change just because he gives up a homer. He's given one up before, and it'll probably happen again somewhere down the road. But he needs to build on the success that he's had for 4+ here. And if he gives up one here, well, okay, it happens.
That's 18 home runs allowed this year, by the way. 15 of them solo. Cut fastball in. A theme that we will continue to bang for Dan Hare. By the way, all cleaned up, maybe trying to change his luck a little bit. That haircut.
He's still
a scraggly guy.
He's still in a fight with his razor, though.
Absolutely. Good curveball. So cut fastball in, get me over, curveball away.
Well, make no mistake about it. The Dodgers have some veterans over there. They look at the course of the game and the tendencies of that pitcher within that game. Granted, they have scouting reports and they've faced Dan Hare before. But you know what? You make adjustments during the course of the game as well. Dan's been a little more aggressive with his fastball tonight. So they can change during the course of their at bats. They get into their third at bat. Maybe they start looking for a different pitch.
Don't forget, catch WNBA action when the Western Conference leader Phoenix Mercury take on the San Antonio Silver Stars. It's tomorrow night at 9:30, only on Fox Sports Arizona. Immediately after the Diamondbacks go head-to-head with the Dodgers. Greg Schulte, Matt Williams will call that one for you. 80s night, I'm told. Haven't heard anything about that yet this week. Split-fingered fastball. Montero can't block it up. There are 2 outs, though. Danny knows he can just worry about the man with the bat in his hand. Single would have scored Hudson anyway. Oh for 6 this year for Call against Heron. 4 for 20 in his career.
Make note, last time up he threw him a good fastball that came back to the corner. That's a split finger that he just didn't get. I don't know if he rushed to the plate and the arm didn't catch up or it slipped.
For Call, when batting leadoff, is solid, 280. Everywhere else he has been 232. And he has struggled. There's a cut fastball in. Matter of fact, Rafael Furcal's had 44 games where he has not been the leadoff hitter. That was during the time that Manny Ramirez was out. Juan Pierre batted leadoff.
And he got really hot. So you look at those 2 players against each other. Furcal, leadoff hitter the majority of the time. Pierre probably a better base stealer. So if he's hot, you're going to get him in the leadoff spot. If he's seeing the ball well, getting base hits, and walking a lot, you want him on base.
What's coming on 3-2? Fastball away.
Pierre's putting a battle in the bat on him. Had the cut fastball 3-2 that he fouled off. Fastball away that he fouled off.
Full count, 2 outs on Rafael Furcal. Fastball outside. Looked like Jerry got that one right. Don't blame Danny for wanting it. Not one bit, but we'll take a look just in case. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit off the plate. Miguel tried to bring it back a little bit. I'm sorry, you're out there battling. You've thrown almost 70 pitches in a game, and it comes down to 3-2 in a crucial at bat. You want it. Everybody does.
Hudson's moved around. He singled, and the pitch over the outside. Cut fastball, 0-1. Russell Martin flied to right. He also grounded to third. Timely hitting has not been his specialty this year. Tap dancing out of the way is Martin.
Big at bat right here. You got that guy we talked about that has the knack for coming through for the Dodgers, standing on deck.
Talking about Andre Ethier. They want it in. They got it there. What a pitch. 1-2 the count. You talk about threading the eye of a needle.
They threw him a great cut fastball for strike 1. Missed with a sinker in. Came back with it on the corner. Now he's got him set up for anywhere he wants to go.
Got to block it up, Miguel. He did. He did. Awkwardly on a backhand, but he did. You wouldn't teach it like that, but you love the big strikeout with the runner on third. and no hits the Pirates as we welcome you back to the ballpark. 4-1 the score. Arizona on top of the Los Angeles Dodgers. A banner day for third baseman. Well, not yet for that one. But certainly for one who we will introduce in just a moment. There's a young man who has made his way to Arizona out of Fort Myers, Florida. We've been hoping we'd hear from him. And we did hear from him. Bobby Borchering signs today. Diamondbacks #1 pick. Congratulations, young man.
Appreciate it.
Welcome.
I'm very excited to be here.
You had to be literally going crazy while this was worked out.
Yeah, it was a great experience. You know, it was a hard decision. I really liked the University of Florida and the entire coaching staff. But at the end of the day, the opportunity I have here with the Diamondbacks is something I couldn't pass up. So I'm just proud and honored to be a part of this organization.
Okay, kid. So now that all the details are all worked out, what is it that you're looking most forward to as you get a chance to live your dream?
Right. I just want to take one day at a time. And really take in the whole experience. You know, I never want to take any day for granted. So I just want to go out, get better each day as much as I can, and hopefully one day I can find myself in a Diamondbacks uniform here in Chase Field.
Switch hitter, right?
Yes.
You have a stronger side? What's your natural side?
Pretty even both ways. I throw right-handed and do most things right-handed, but I've been switch hitting my whole life, so it's a big advantage. I really thank my dad for it. He was a Pete Rose fan growing up. So.
Really?
Yeah.
He's not alone. I saw you down there taking batting practice today and had a chance to talk to you a little bit in the hallway here before you came on. Pretty exciting day to get out there and take some hits, huh?
Definitely is. You know, something I've been working for a long time, and it's just a great experience to be out here and playing in Chase Field and meeting some of the guys. I mean, what can I say? It's a great day for me.
Bobby Borchering joined us up here in the booth, and one of my favorite players for a long time as a broadcaster, now a guy who I love to interview. He's been a guest on this show a lot, is Chipper Jones. You like Chipper Jones, I've heard.
Yeah, Chipper Jones, one of my favorite players. Great guy, and really class act, and I just love the way he carries himself and plays the game.
Switch hitter, too.
Yeah, switch hitting third baseman.
Very good.
So what do they have in store for you? What's the next step?
Next step, tomorrow morning I fly out to Missoula, Montana, where I'll start my professional career. Really excited about that. I know a few guys on the team. One guy I played with in travel ball, Patrick Schuster, and one guy I met, Team USA, David Nick. So it's good to know some guys, and I'm looking forward to come joining them.
2-0 the count to Miguel Montero. Misses away 3-0. Third base, you going to go play third right away?
Third base, yes.
Okay. Any place else you wouldn't mind playing if they asked you? But you love third base.
I love third base. You know, it's something that I've been learning gradually and really been working hard for. And you know, I just love third base. So.
Oh, Matty, I know you've got to go crazy for that.
You know, there are a few of us that do. Most people aren't. You know, they don't want to take their life in their hands like we do. But there's no better place to play.
Definitely.
All right, so the #1 pick already kissing up to Matt Williams. We really enjoy that.
Or vice versa.
Yeah. Good pitch. There's the strike. Tell me a little bit about Dad. Tell me about his influence on your baseball career. Tell me a little bit about the switch hitting. When did it start? And it's almost you know, I'm getting ready to do this Aflac All-American game, and to a man, a lot of these young men, when they fill out their documentation, good tough pitch there. Strike 3. They talk about Dad being a teacher, a friend, and also a chauffeur, taking you around all the time. Would you say the same?
Oh, he was huge in my life. He's always been a best friend for me. I mean, every day would go out to the ball field and he'd teach me new things. And you know, it's just been, I can't thank him enough for all he's put into it. And you know, yeah, we've been there for each other. We've had our ups and downs, and you know, right now it's a really exciting time for both of us, and we're looking forward to get going.
Will you stay here for another moment? Stay with us?
Sure, absolutely.
All right. Bobby's going to stay with us. I want to talk to him about taking a home run away from another good friend of the show, Albert Pujols. We'll explain when we come back. expected to get it done every fifth day. We compared him to Justin Upton with regard to all the ability that he has, Clayton Kershaw, but the comparison is also fair in that at 21, being already here and responsible, the ups and downs he will ride, the 4 walks, the 9 strikeouts. I mean, Matty, you and I talked about it, and it's certainly appropriate with Bobby here, a young man who hopes to get to the big leagues fast as Ramon Troncoso goes to work for the Dodgers at 2.71 ERA. Bobby, I'm going to ask Matt this question because you're sitting right here too, and certainly listen up. It's one of those things where we saw with Justin Upton, the roller coaster. We're seeing it with Clayton Kershaw, but it's one of those things, Matty, where they need to be here. They need to be here doing it, but you have to ride it with them.
You have to, yeah, you have to be patient enough to be able to ride it with them, because when it's on, it's special. I mean, Kershaw, Upton, we see a lot of young players that are very, very special, very talented. But there's going to be some valleys too. It's going to happen. And so what can you do? Well, I guess you ride it as long as you can possibly ride it, because you know on the upside it's there.
You're 18, Bobby?
Yes.
All right. The 19 went in October?
October 25th.
Okay. Okay. So tell me about this home run you robbed. Albert Pujols home run derby. Where was it? What happened?
Okay, yeah, it was in Detroit during their home run derby. I was out in left field and kind of sneaking back towards the warning track.
Hold on one second. How'd you get to Detroit first?
Okay. The pitch hit and run competition.
Okay, got it.
So I ended up winning my region, which was in Tampa, and then won a trip to the All-Star game, and then found myself out there shagging fly balls with the rest of the guys, and then yeah, creeping back towards the warning track, and then he ended up hitting one back there, so I kind of put my back up against the wall, jumped up and caught it, and threw the ball back in, acted like nothing happened.
You're the guy. Everyone remembers that video.
Yeah, that was.
Matty, that's the guy.
It's great. Want to be great. Hopefully someday he can, meet Albert out during batting practice and tell him about the story. Maybe send a video of it over to the other clubhouse and say, hey, that was me that took it away from you. And by the way, don't hit one down here to third, because I'm going to pick that one too. We'll throw you out.
Yeah, I was thinking, good thing it wasn't Pudge, because those fans would have been on me really bad if that would have been him.
So Reds fan. You have your parents are both from Ohio, huh?
Yeah, both from Cincinnati. I grew up, but I was born in Fort Myers.
Okay. You ever get back to the Midwest?
Yeah, we go up there once in a while.
See, some of our viewers will appreciate the Midwest values. We got a lot of Midwesterners that migrate out here. Mom and Dad will love visiting. 2 outs and Trent Olchin now. This is an interesting story, obviously. I'm sure Bobby, following the Diamondbacks, as he hoped to become an employee of them very soon, but this is a guy that nearly 9 years in the minor leagues, and what an explosive start he has had, hitting nearly 500 out of the gates.
Definitely, yeah, I saw that 12 for 24 in his first at bat. That was impressive.
1-0 the count. Bobby Bortring joined us up here. And what time's your flight in the morning?
8 o'clock.
Game tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think they have a game tomorrow night.
Expected to be in there?
I'm not really sure yet, but and I'll get in there, get some work done, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Now, where'd you play? What'd you do this summer to stay fresh?
This summer, I've just been working at home and working in the backyard out in the farmland at Alva, Florida. But yeah, this is it's really paid off now.
So all of that is over. Now it becomes business.
Yep, it's new to me, being an 18-year-old kid and then going from just working in the backyard to seeing 40,000 fans here in Chase Field. It's a new experience, but I'm loving it.
That one doesn't get too far away. Mark, look at him. He's on himself there, because that's Mark Reynolds in second base written all over it, Matt.
You look for down angle when you're at first base and you're going to try to advance. If it's not a straight steal, look for down angle. If that catcher has to go to his knees, it'd be very difficult for him to pick the ball, get to his feet, and be able to throw you out, and want to take advantage of it.
Bobby Bortring sitting up here watching the ball game with us. The Diamondbacks' #1 pick this year, now a D-backs employee. Did you watch these guys from afar? Did you read about them? Did you understand what was going on, the ups and downs with this team, and keep an eye on some of their prospects this year?
Yeah, I've been watching them this summer, and I really like the organization and the direction they're going. A lot of the guys I've played with that have been drafted are very talented, and I'm looking forward to going meeting with him in Missoula and making the playoffs with him.
Oh, nice. Was that caught on the fly there? On a young man with the Dodgers. He's out. They suggest that's a whole Dodgers family. No, we love them. It's great that they're here. But Matt won't support giving them a contract.
No, I won't.
We have a thing here, Bobby, where if a fan makes a play, glove or something like that, they get 4 free tickets. I work with Mark Grace. He's in here for Mark Grace this weekend, and we decide, they get the contract. But you can't be a Dodgers fan to get a contract.
I agree.
All right, see, he's a smart young man. There's some great ballparks in the SEC. And I know that I covered SEC baseball for a lot of years. We're glad you picked the Diamondbacks.
I appreciate it.
Welcome to Arizona, my friend.
Happy to be here.
Bobby Borcherick. He's going to work tomorrow. Earn that money.
Get your rest.
It's time to bring you up to speed with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. 4-1 the score. Andre Ethier in the hole, 0-1. Dan Herron with 73 pitches, a very manageable start as he begins tonight what appears to be taking a huge step in the right direction. Now, it's not as if Dan was bad. It's not as if he was really struggling, but he just wasn't Dan Herron.
Right.
Part of the reason was these guys left-handers, left-handed hitters.
Yeah, that's what he gets for spoiling everybody, though.
There's no doubt.
It's been just fantastic all year long. But the key for any player is how quickly you get out of it. Everybody's going to have a tough patch. Everybody's going to. How do you get out of it? How quickly is it?
And he has gone back to work. He has shortened up his sessions on the side. He has worked on his balance point. In the windup, when he stops to lift that leg, he had been, as we mentioned earlier, trying to get a little bit more into it, so tilting and arching his back, which had thrown him off a bit, so trying to stay straight up there. And you could see he was mad at himself. He didn't like that spot.
No, he's barking at himself out there.
Watch the back and the arch of the back. For Danny, he doesn't want much. That'll throw the shoulders off and pull them away and leave pitches up and out over the plate like it did a moment ago. Split-fingered fastball. Mark Reynolds, the first baseman, makes the play, and Reynolds to the bag. batting stance guy. Who in the world is he imitating? Log on to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Fox Sports Arizona. Plus Diamondbacks Live postgame show will have the answer. Manny Ramirez. Gets ready to dig in. My guess, by the way, is Casey Blake. I think that's Casey Blake.
You may be right. You just may be right.
Or Doug DeCinces.
That may be right too. And again,
cut fastball grabs the corner. And my final guess is Arizona's very own J.J. Hardy. That pitch is in.
That might be right too.
Wish him good luck in getting back to the big leagues. He's now playing in the minor leagues for Milwaukee. Trying to get things right like Chris Young. Pitch is low and in. 2-1 the count. Todd Walsh, by the way, with an update on Chris Young. You better not be locked in a bathroom down there in the minor leagues. That wouldn't be any good.
No, that wouldn't. No, it wouldn't be any good. It's hard to play when you're locked in the bathroom.
Manny, deep left field, over the head of Roberts. He continues his fabulous night against Dan Hare. The guy who he already owned coming in. He is 3 for 3. Couldn't tell. It was an off-speed pitch, maybe a breaking ball. Goodness.
Well, good hitters hit mistakes. So you look at Miguel Montero. He wants this ball away and down. It stays middle and up. Now, Manny Ramirez is a fabulous hitter. But what he does best is hit pitches like that. He hits mistakes. He hits the 0-2 pitch in his first at bat, the fastball that didn't get where it should have gotten to. He hits the hanging curveball. Is Gracie here tonight?
He's not. I know he loves beach balls on the field. It's really a big part of what he enjoys, especially 99 beach balls, Manny beach balls.
I just thought maybe he was out in left field with the night off and enjoying himself out there and batting the ball around. Evidently not. So getting back to, the great hitters hit mistakes. They don't miss the mistakes. Now Dan Heron puts the ball exactly where he wants to against Manny Ramirez. Throws the breaking ball down and away on the corner. Comes back in with the fastball in the corner. Throws the cut fastball away for strike 3. Well, you're going to get him out most of the time.
One and one the count. Line, base hit left field. The Diamondbacks had a big offensive inning in the second. Have been quieted ever since.
First baseman James
With one out, standing on second base, Manny Ramirez has to wait for that ball to get through. Coaches harp on you all the time. Head high line drive, you have to just freeze where you're at and make the ball go through before you advance to the next base. Unless there's 2 outs of pitch.
Bouncing ball could be 2. There's 1. There's 2. A double play. Steven Rue turning around with some words for Casey Blake as he trots off the field.
playing for the Reno Aces tonight in the Pacific Coast League. 2 for 2 already with 2 singles, 2 runs, and a walk before the game today. A.J. Hinch with a very interesting comment about what they expect from Chris Young on his stint down in the minor leagues.
I think the first thing that we'd like him to do is go play with a little more spirit, play with a little more life in it. And it's hard to do when you look up at the scoreboard and you're hitting 190 something. And so he does have a clean slate when he gets down there.
As we talked about Chris and just his body language on the field of late when we were on that road trip. And I think it's very clear in those comments from the manager today that we weren't the only ones that noticed them. But he does start with a clean slate, and it looks like he's making the most of it, at least tonight in his appearance there. 2 for 2, as I mentioned, 2 runs, a walk, a couple of hits.
Well, good for him.
Well, a change of scenery can do it too. You know, granted, it's not the big leagues, but and it's the minor leagues, but you know, to have that pressure off your back allows your athletic ability sometimes to come through, and hopefully he gets it straightened out. Been there.
What do you do, though? Man, I hear that, and that, I'll tell you, I'm excited he gets the opportunity, but discouraged that that's the way he was viewed, and that he earned those views.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's pretty stunning for a kid who's in his early 20s.
Well, you also talk to AJ, and he says, you know what, nobody worked harder. Nobody worked harder every day prior in the batting cage every single day, working on it. But I've been there, man. I know. I was told by Roger Craig early in my career, Matt, I don't care if you hit 150. You're going to be my starting third baseman. Well, and, you know, May 15th, I was hitting 130, and I got sent down. And what do? What can you do at that point other than try to work your way back? So I walked into the clubhouse here in Phoenix. Not one coach, not one player said a word to me. I thought, I am done. I'm done playing baseball because I've just lost everything that I could ever want. My teammates, my coaches, everything else. It was all by design. It was all by design at that point to let me play. Just play. And hopefully that's what Chris is going to do. He's just going to go play, get it worked out, and come back here with some confidence and some better body.
I was covering Matt Williams with the Phoenix Firebirds, by the way.
That's right.
I remember those days. I remember the look when he took the field. I remember, was it the 4 home runs in front of Al Rosen?
Yeah, well, that helped. Yeah.
In one game.
That kind of helps when your GM's sitting there, but.
That's 4, by the way, if you're scoring at home. I just like Darren, and you heard it, and Matt, you know this. The way AJ described the conversation that he had with Chris Young and the seriousness of the tone of that conversation, not just for his current condition, but for his career. And it sounded like, from what everyone that I've talked to, that Chris was receptive to that, but it sounded like it was a very direct conversation with direct criticism as well. So that has to be part of the equation.
Agreed.
Steven Gruder rolls it. It's coming up back there. Good stuff, Todd. Thank you, my friend. like this, and Stephen Drew thought this slide was a bit too askew from Casey Blake, and I think Stephen was right.
Askew, that's a good way to put it. Hey, you were off, but you're out anyway.
Our Chaz Roberts heating and air conditioning cool play. And a very good one, Stephen. That's Stephen Drew snapping right there.
That's it. Yeah. That's about as far as it goes.
We asked him to hang on to it. With a lot of other ball players, you'd say, well, that's okay. We don't in the truck, and they kept a video of it because that's a lot for him. And I don't say that to make fun of him. He's a very peaceful kid. We're all different. You probably would have, in his shoes, maybe said it or handled it a little bit differently.
Maybe.
And somebody else differently as well. Al Ripken would have handled it differently. 2-0 the count to Matt Kemp. Let's see, 88 pitches for Dan. And a Dan Haren-like outing. A 2-0 cutter over the outside corner.
Beautiful.
That's when we say, folks, a Dan Haren-like outing, that's what we're talking about.
Most of the time, Dan Haren's ahead in the count. That's also a Dan Haren outing. But the ability to throw the cutter behind in the count, the ability to throw the curve ball to the left-handed hitter early in the count for strike one and go to work, that's what we're talking about.
Boy,
that's what's
they
been
are
lacking.
The same page. That one backs him out of there. You're exactly right. I need to jump on you there, Matty, but I'm interested to watch how much these two, Montero and Haren, are on the same page. He always grips the split. That's a cutter away. Cutter away. He got it out there. 3 would be a slider for most other pitchers. 3 is a cutter for Dan Haren. He wiggles those fingers. That's a split-fingered fastball. 2 is the curveball. Fastball away, trying to grab the outside corner, get him looking. Instead, he missed his spot by quite a bit.
That's what you're talking about right there, Darren.
The shoulders.
Yeah, well, you know, trying to get a little bit extra on the fastball and pulling off a little bit. What happens when you pull off with the front shoulder as you're delivering the ball to the plate? The ball goes up and away from your arm side. And he's unable to get that ball away to the right-hander and unable to get that ball into the left-hander.
Orlando Hudson, first pitch swinging. Thank you very much. Communicate, boys. Ryan Roberts keeps wanting to bang into Gerardo Parra, but then at the last minute he doesn't. Taking a look ahead at Miller Lite, what's brewing? Hiroki Kuroda against Doug Davis. That's the Diamondbacks' Doug Davis. You got that Brew Crew. Randy Wolf against Yusmeiro Petit. It is Wolf against Petit. That is on Sunday. All these games available in your living room on Fox Sports Arizona. And on Saturday and Sunday, the call, Greg Schulte and Matt Williams.
Along with the governor.
You two guys are going to be causing all kinds of problems.
Boy, aren't we. And boy, are you and Gracie going to get it. Holy mackerel.
Boy, have you been kind. You've been kind to Gracie tonight, by the way, as Juan Pierre pinch hits.
I'm saving it for the weekend.
Really?
Oh, I'm just saving it. Because you're both going to get it at the same. Tune in, folks, because it's going to be special.
I see.
We are holding nothing back.
So,
because both of us, both the governor and I, have been getting it pretty regular.
Whoa, the governor.
Oh yeah, all the time.
For what?
I don't know. You tell me. Both you and
his
both
favorite
you,
group is not Wham.
Both you and the left-hander.
You were the one saying Wham. You always guess yourself on the trivia questions. This is all according to Gracie.
I have never sent a text in my life.
Well, it's just what he says.
I don't even know how.
He never says anything about any text from the governor. That one is in. Runner goes. Slow down. How about the job Stephen Drew just did? How about going out, getting that baseball, popping the tag down? Number 6 with a bit of an edge tonight.
Well, that's what happens when Their third baseman tries to take you out at second base. This is a fine play. That's picking it and slapping him with it. That's quick right there. Little things during the course of the game. That won't be in the box score tomorrow. It'll just be about stealing. But if he doesn't do that, you don't ever know what's going to happen during the course of the game.
That choir boy's face has a little bit of a scowl tonight. Dan knocked it with his spikes. Ryle picks him up right behind. Oh, good to have Dan Heron back, isn't it, folks?
Skates saving a beauty.
Good to have him back. There's that angry Stephen Drew. He's not happy.
Greg sporting the Chris Snyder backpack. Now, it's not padded like that, though, correct?
Well, not like that. That's my padding.
That's your padding.
Yeah.
And it's a backpack, not a chest protector.
It is, but it looks like a Chris Snyder chest protector for the back. It's perfect.
And we've also got your theory on why Dan Heron is so successful tonight.
Well, reason why he's looking very good tonight.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that.
As we send it back to you guys, we continue our 80s theme. We're children of the 80s, so what is your favorite baseball moment from that decade? I know what yours is. We'll have the results on the postgame show. Guys, back to you, huh? The Snide piece right there.
Very good stuff. Thank you very much. One of the better nicknames, by the way. We appreciate you mentioning that.
Snide piece.
I have no idea why anyone is voting for anything else. Do we have some results, by the way? Any results yet? 36929.
We warned everybody.
I'm telling you. We will have some results a little bit later on.
Come on, folks. I don't want to have to go down in the clubhouse and tell them.
Now, you know, if you texted it, obviously, you probably received a text back from Fox Sports Arizona as Ronald Belisario, and we thank you for your support. He goes to work. But you'll have Gibby coming into the mothership in the office saying, all right, all those phone numbers that didn't vote for me,
give them to me.
That's exactly right. So don't answer your cell phone if you voted for Bill Buckner. Well struck center field, but down off the end of the bat. Still trickling back just shy of the track to make the play for the out is Matt Kemp. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
There. That's what I'm talking about right there.
I'm telling you, that's not acceptable. That's embarrassing. Get that off the screen, please. I'm so sorry, Gibby.
I'm the one that's going to have to tell him, huh?
Well, my nickname's not the Marine, and I didn't hit any homers in the big leagues.
Oh, boy. That'll be a fun conversation.
I'm not a big, tough guy who got in some great brawls on the diamonds.
You guys,
I'm just a guy up here in the booth.
We just need the Diamondbacks to win because it'll be a little bit easier tonight.
60%? Kirk Gibson's home run? 60%? I'm told in the truck that there's a lot of A's fans viewing. There are no A's fans.
There can't be.
What a piece of hitting. How excited is Gerardo Parra? Look at me, like that would just sail on by. He is thrilled, Parra is, to not have a lefty, an opposing lefty on the mound. Matter of fact, he thanks the heavens above that the good Lord made right-handed pitchers.
Anybody but Clayton Kershaw. And a sinker at about 95 miles an hour that he stays on. And lines that ball by Manny into left center field.
So now Mark Reynolds, well, he heads out. You know, our good friends up at the ABC Club, the Arizona Baseball Club, don't forget to make it your stop when you come to a ball game out there in right field. Great food. Kelly Dugan took care of us tonight. They have a great happy hour before the game. Go visit, stop by. It's a great spot to enjoy the ball game. And there was food sent out to the truck. We intercepted it on the way to the truck, and just more for us up here in the booth.
By the way, guys that are sitting in the truck, it was really good. Sorry you didn't.
You had the sliders,
I had the
French dip sliders.
I had all of the sliders.
We had bratwurst up here. We had well, cheeseburgers, some fresh fruit, some chips, some really good stuff.
Pulled pork sandwich. Yummy.
So go see him at the ABC Club. Got a brunch out there. Yeah, we've had some cameras out there before. We've had a camera position. Oh my! Where'd that get him? Did that get him up in the helmet? Right up in the shoulder, but up by the face, and that is not welcome territory for a hitter. Not welcome at all. I'll let you speak to it.
Well, it's one thing to get hit with a baseball. It's another thing to have it come sail around your noggin. High on the shoulder. He did the right thing. Watch how he turns away from the baseball. It's no consolation right now because that hurts at 95 miles an hour. The ball's got some teeth. Well, how do you respond? How do you respond if you're Miguel Montero?
Oh, I thought you meant next half inning.
Well, that too. How do you respond?
We'll see. But first up, as you said, Miguel Montero. Drives that one into center field, and the play is made. Our Mercedes-Benz E-Class attention assist of the game. Going to the 80s. Going back to the World Series. Yeah, Bob Boone, I got it. No, Pete, I got it. Two of my favorite baseball players of all time, by the way. Moody could catch a little bit, couldn't he?
He could catch a little bit. That guy that ended up catching the ball could hit a little bit, too. Talk about passion. Passion for the game, playing every day. Pete Rose was the epitome of that.
I don't know if you guys heard yet, but it's 80s night tomorrow night.
Boy, we're pulling up footage from the archives on you and Gracie.
Me?
Oh,
I was in high school.
It's going to be phenomenal.
Good to have the Olivia Newton-John fan club in the house tonight.
Let's get physical.
By the way, it's not just on television that it's 80s night. It's here at the ballpark.
They're night early.
Yes. It's 80s weekend for them.
They didn't get the memo.
The 1-1. 2-1 the count. 6 for his last 15 with runners in the scoring position. Romero, he has really been carving his way, hitting .301. 3-1 the count. The Giants lost to the Mets tonight, 3-0. Barry Zito pitched well, but they came up short. Florida beat Colorado 6-5. Uh-oh, look out. Got a camera well into the area by the Dodgers dugout. Hopefully everyone's all right in there. I think they are. The Finch, is he all right?
I'm good, guys.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah.
He's getting no respect in the truck, by the way. We're making sure he's all right, and the guys in the truck are saying, it's all right. It wasn't even close. He's just a cameraman.
Yeah, I missed him by like 1.5 feet.
Can you believe it? We care about you up here. You can eat our catered meal with us next time. Guys in the truck, terrible. All right, man, hang in there. Keep it up. Kelly Dugan will be feeding ABC Club right down there by the dugout. A little topper, and it's a foul ball. The runners were on the move with a full count and 2 outs. And the guys in the truck, they're just concerned about the camera, not the camera operator. They're just glad that it didn't hit the camera. Oh, now they're in my ear. You can't hear them. They're in my ear. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we don't want to hurt the equipment.
Unbelievable.
3-2 the count, 2 outs. Got him. Good command to work out of it. How good is his command? Because earlier in the inning, a pitch neck high to Mark Reynolds. Came up, it came in, Reynolds was drilled. Will there be any sort of a response when we come back? Diamondbacks baseball brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They're ready when you are. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. Going to work, a little running bunt. 1 out. Augie Ojeda was ready for it. He was cheating in. So quickly, 1 away. Trent Olchen moves to left field. Alex Romero is in right field. And Danny Herron going back to work. Romero right there in that 6th slot. Ryan Roberts is at second base. It all makes sense now. Here's Russell Martin. Cut fastball over the outside. Popped up. It's Roberts. It's Reynolds. It's Roberts. And Ryan is there. And Ryan Roberts there to make the play. By the way, our Ride Now Power Sports Pool Cam. Rusty Ryan took us there with a bounce and a swim. Oh, look at that. We had a camera in there tonight. That's great stuff. The kids loved it. Unbelievable how it worked out.
I tell you, those guys in the truck, they think of everything.
Well, as long as it involves equipment, they'll think of it.
Oh, yeah.
High and tight. That evens the score. Ethier with some words for Heron. Both dugouts, it looks like, are being warned. Reynolds takes a walk in. The bullpens take a walk to the gate. Good old-fashioned baseball. Both have been warned. Both sides have been warned. Jerry Lane doing what he should be doing. And he did it in a 4-1 ball game.
Well, you think about your own team and how you play as a team and how you protect each other.
You do it in a 4-1 game and you have Manny Ramirez coming up.
What better time?
Strike one.
Well, what does that tell your teammates? It tells your teammates that you've got their back regardless of your last 4 starts, regardless of how the game's going. Now, you don't want to lose the game for your team, certainly, but
Manny, a late call of time and steps a long ways out the box. Dan grabs the rosin bag and he'll take a walk.
And by the way, Mr. Ethier can thank Mr. Belisario for that one.
Absolutely.
And it's actually a sign of respect. Dan Heron had the chance to go ahead and go after Furcal. Didn't do it. Had the chance to go after Martin. Didn't do it. Why did he go after Ethier? Because he's the guy in their lineup.
Right now,
he's the big boy in their lineup. That's a sign of respect. Now, it doesn't feel good to have that ball hit you between your numbers, but
Belted to left field indeed. Oh, to make the play is Trent Olchin. This crowd has been dying to cheer all year long. Tonight, Dan Heron and the Diamondbacks have given them one whale of a reason. And he stepped up for his teammate. 4-1 the score. Trent Olchin to lead things off. Suddenly he's part of this brouhaha known as the Arizona Diamondbacks. Lock, stock, and barrel. Just moved back over to left field. Ramirez scalded this ball.
Little top spin liner that was headed for that wall, and Trent was able to get back there and cut it off.
Chin music. We've seen it tonight. There's no doubt about it. This was followed by the next inning to even the score. Back in the days of Don Drysdale and Bob Gibson, nobody said a word. And if you looked at a fly ball for a little bit too long, or if you swung too hard as a hitter, you were getting it. The game has evolved.
Yeah, and the game, the rules have changed, and you face suspension and all of those things. But at the end of the day, the Diamondbacks just sent a message to the Dodgers. This has not been our year. We haven't played well, but you're not going to push us around. You hit our big guy, yours is getting 1-2, and that's okay. It's part of the game. It happens. Regardless of whether the Dodger pitcher meant to hit Mark, it happened. So you have to let them know you're not going to come into our house and push us around. Not going to happen. Now it's all settled. There shouldn't be any more issue with it. I think Dan handled it fine. It's my opinion and my opinion only. I think Andre handled it fine.
Yeah, the hurt in him, and I don't mean the emotional hurt. I mean the physical pain is what spurred him to stand up straight and jaw a little bit. That's normal. I think that's actually normal.
I would have, yeah, I agree. I think that is.
But then he went to first.
Yeah, there was no charging the mound. There was no. There was nothing else other than, hey, you know what? That didn't feel so good. And if anything, the guys on the field respect each other enough to know that, you know what, it's going to happen from time to time. So let's get on with the game and let's play.
The man in left field and the man on the mound were involved in a similar situation with the Milwaukee Brewers recently. And Manny was pitched up and in. And in response, Guillermo Mota hit Prince Fielder in the leg. Prince decided, though, to try and get into the home locker room after the game, which is not always recommended.
No.
Change up and a tough take there, 3-2.
Hitting the leg hurts.
It looked like it really hurt.
And that man's got big legs. Prince has some tree trunks for legs.
He does.
But it hurts.
He does. Still probably shouldn't go in tunnels to locker rooms and stuff. No?
No.
Olchin drives into the right center field. Diving play made out there by the center fielder, Matt Kemp. He's as big as a house. He's a linebacker in a ball player's body, but he's also a good center fielder. Our in-game box score, you can see a lot of ones. You can see enough timely hitting, no doubt about it. But you also see the need, if it's possible this inning, to add on. It has felt too close the entire game with the team that's not one of the best teams in baseball that you're playing.
Yeah, they put 3 runs on the board in a hurt. Up and down the lineup, you look at it and you've got Blake Loney and the guy that's already gone deep once in this game, that's center fielder Kemp. Get a couple of guys on in front of him. This game changes in a split second. So, yeah, to add one here would be very nice. It's a comfort run, if you will, for the Diamondbacks.
Got a slider over the inside corner. No balls and 2 strikes to count. It's been all good for Augie of late. Tonight, 1 for 3. As we told you in August, 10 hits now, hitting over 400. Pops this one up. Should be room. Miscommunication there between Blake and Martin Our free credit report out of town scoreboard as we remind you to know your score. Visit freecreditreport.com. You see the Phillies beating the Braves, and we will see the Phillies next week. The Mets too much for the Giants, and the Marlins too much for the Rockies, and that's certainly good news for the Dodgers. And it's good news for the two teams that are pursuing them. They came into play LA with a 5-game lead on Colorado and a 6.5-game lead on San Francisco. Colorado leading San Francisco coming into play by a 1.5 games in the wild card. Florida sure helped themselves in that wild card race. Josh Weitzel pinch hits for Dan Herron. And if his teammates didn't already respect him, you know, the whole all-star thing and Cy Young candidate and all-around good guy, they respect him a little bit more now.
Well, you have to take care of your teammates.
Josh Weitzel pops it up. Dan Herron, tip of the cap. He's back. Chad Qualls tries to lock it up. PS rooftop solar cam reminding all of you, if you're able, install solar panels on the roof of your home. Our Radio Shack, or the Shack as we like to call it now, what you know? The Los Angeles Dodgers were the only team to win 2 World Series titles in the 1980s, in 81 and in 88. You see Fernando, key part in 81. Kirk Gibson still steaming at your vote earlier tonight in the text poll, steaming that he is not 100% the best moment of the 80s. We've seen this now twice. Chad Qualls comes in. Jerry Lane has gone out and talked to both Mota and now Qualls, reminding them, look, I've warned everyone. I know you just came in from the bullpen. Don't be trying any shenanigans. And Chad, I would imagine, responding, I'm just trying to get 3 outs.
Yeah.
We've settled things as far as we're concerned.
He's given the warning, though, so ball comes up. Chad Qualls gets underneath the ball and doesn't, you know, flies off with his left shoulder, and it comes up and in and hits somebody. He's got to make that move at this point.
He has to interpret intent, though, correct?
Well, yeah, but he's also warned.
Sure. Sure enough, the home plate umpire, to me, this is a really tough part of the game. He's a guy with wicked and wild stuff that moves a lot, and you could hit somebody with that big, sweeping, sinking fastball.
I would imagine that if he throws a sinker down and in and hits Blake in the foot, he's not going to think that that's intent.
In the back?
Potentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's not going to. That slider. Thought it might have been a strike. It's called in. 2-1 the count. Ramirez has had a great night tonight. He seems absolutely, completely locked in. But his team is down 4-1.
Yeah, you could say that. 4 bullets.
3-1 the count. Since July 3rd, coming into play tonight, Colorado is 23-14. Arizona 21-15. The Giants 4 over, the Dodgers 2 over. Since July 3rd, Arizona has played solid baseball. There is a walk. And now James Loney.
First baseman James Loney.
And that, of course, is since Manny returned. The Diamondbacks have been able to take advantage coming into today. Now, really hasn't affected the Diamondbacks, the return of Manny, or the effect of Manny, since they haven't seen him. Very interesting, and more than anything, it's a tip of the cap to this club that many on July 3rd, locally, maybe on sports talk shows, would say, well, what's there left to play for? Well, there's a lot left to play for.
Yeah.
You've been watching this team the last few weeks. You've seen that.
Yeah, and the phone started ringing. Josh Burns was inundated starting the month of July, especially after the All-Star break. Hey, you want to get rid of this guy or that guy? Give him credit for not making a deal just to make a deal.
Stephen Drew and Casey Blake, they get together again. And Drew with something else to say. Not big. That was a clean slide there. The conversation went on for a moment. May have been Blake saying something about the earlier slide. You never know.
Ooh. There's a little edge, isn't there?
Oh, you bet there is. And it's fun. It's fun, I think. Look, these Dodgers, they've been playing meaningful games all year. They hope to play in October, and they've earned the right. These guys in red, they've got a lot to play for, but this is different. This is the team that's dominated the National League all year.
I'll tell you, you talk about chemistry all the time. You talk about great teams have great chemistry. Yeah, you know, maybe great teams are forced to have great chemistry. Maybe the fact that that chemistry evolves because of what you go through during the course of a season. So who's to say that just because you win all the time you have great chemistry? Maybe that chemistry comes from getting your fanny handed to you all the time. Use it to your advantage, it can happen. Nights like tonight where, yeah, it's not that you have a chance to beat the Dodgers here in the first place. It may be the fact that you come together as a team because one of your guys got plunked and your pitcher took care of it. Or Stephen Drew's able to hang in there on those hard slides or whatever it is.
A two-base hit. With just one out for Matt Kemp as he reached out and poked it out there. Barr went an awful long way.
Had him swung around to right center. Shade in right center, almost to the Fries sign in right center field for those of you that have been to the ballpark. Almost to the pool, shaved him all the way over there and had to go a long way in the left center field.
Reminding himself to back up and play no doubles. Orlando Hudson, strike one. Dan Herron, fabulous tonight. Oh, 0-2 the count to Hudson.
Reach back for a little extra there. folks, you got to get in front of that ball and knock it down.
Slider.
Good one. 0-2, you throw a slider, that's where you want it. Down and into the left-handed hitter on the back toe. If he doesn't fish, okay, at least you put it where you wanted to put it.
The 1-2. Got him with a slider. Nearly 90 miles an hour, that slider. A unique grip on that slider. Almost cups his hand around it like a C. Grips it so tightly.
I missed him with the one before. That was just a little bit higher. And it looked like a strike to Orlando Hudson until he committed to swing at it and he dipped out of the strike zone.
Mark Loretta, certainly a professional hitter, hitting just .236, but no walk in the park. Slider, in, just missed. He spun off of that one. He wanted to call, but certainly not nearly where he wanted to throw. The 1-0. Fouled it off. On April the 10th of this year, when Chad Cole out there locking down a game, it was a weak ground ball out off the bat of Mark Loretta that ended the game. Beat LA is the chant here at the ballpark. What is there left to play for?
Kidding me?
1-2 the count. When he was young, Chad Coles used to hop in the car with his mom. He'd go to clinics where he'd learn the game of baseball. The instructors were Dodgers. He grew up out there. That was his team. His career ERA against his team, 1.53. They're not his team anymore. The Dodgers have hit just .213 in their career against it. The nervousness, yes. More than 31,000 of you here tonight. We'll see you out here over what promises to be a big and exciting and memorable weekend. Runners on second and third. The 1-2 off the end of the bat. Charging in, making the play. Alex Romero, and the Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers by a score of 4-1. So many stories in this ballgame. The Australian Trent Olsen keeping an early inning going lefty on lefty. No doubt.